But I think we have to shift our focus onto being open to understanding ourselves rather than trying to put ourselves in some sort of box in the name of purpose, in the name of this is what I'm already good at, so let me try to make something of this. Hey guys, so I'm starting a new series called Chat and Chill, and it's basically going to be FaceTime vibes. I'm going to be talking to you, usually doing a craft, so I'm finishing up a crochet purse that I've been working on for a really long time. I figured that I haven't talked about my faith walk in a long time. I know I started my testimony series, but I never followed up. So in this video, I want to chat and chill and talk about talents from more of a faith/biblical perspective, our gifts, our talents, our purpose, just things like that. When I was a kid, I kind of took talents as things that you're already good at from the jump, maybe like art or music or sports. And to me, these are all kind of God-given talents that you have, and I really equated them to a sense of purpose. Things that I was good at as a kid, definitely art, and as I got older, I really loved music. When I got even older, kind of like middle school and high school, I started doing theater, so I was mainly good at singing. A lot of the times I would think that, you know, I want to be a singer, like I want to be maybe like a famous singer or something like that. I don't know, but I was good at singing, and I thought, like, if this is the thing that I'm most good at, or like that I enjoy the most, then this must have to do with my purpose. Now, as I got older, obviously, certain talents you can't exactly make a career out of, or you can, but it might not be the best decision for you. So I ended up going to school for IT, and I realized that that was another talent of mine, right? Like tech was a talent of mine, creativity was a talent of mine. In our younger years, we're asked a lot about our future and what we want to do in the future, and I hear over and over again, even present day, that a lot of people just have the desire to help others. You can have 10, 20 different people who all want to do different things in life, take different paths in life. But the interesting thing that I found is that a lot of people say the same thing. Why do you want to be a doctor? Why do you want to be a teacher? Why do you want to be a lawyer? And it all comes down to just that they want to help people. And so I was thinking to myself that this probably stems from a sense of purpose, you know, like you want to walk in your purpose, and you also want to help others while you do that. I mean, that's the whole point of why we have talents and why we have gifts. And talents aren't just singing, arts, or sports, you know, like there are so many other things that you can do. And so as I grew up, I realized that not only I had more talents, but that when you're in community, there's more ways for you to use your talents. I think as we get older, we tend to cling on to the things that people told us we were good at as a kid, maybe. And I think that's important to always keep the talents that you were given really close to you. But I think it's also good to think outside of the box in terms of other things that you have to offer that maybe aren't so surface level and easily seen by other people. I think we're all meant to help people per se, right? But we are really called to walk in our purpose above all. I want to read Ephesians 2:10, and it basically means that you were created with intention. It says, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Jesus Christ to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." That means that God has already planned a lot of the things that we're going to do, a lot of the talents that we already have, a lot of the gifts and the things that we have to offer this world, like they were already predetermined for us. And so it's basically on us to kind of figure out who we are and have it come from within ourselves rather than relying on other people to kind of tell us what we're good at. It's great for reinforcement, but the more I started to really let myself discover other things that I like rather than maybe being career focused in my purpose, I was able to really branch out and figure out a lot more things that I was good at that more align with my purpose. So I mentioned earlier that I got a degree in IT, and I started my first IT job as a help desk technician, and very quickly I realized that I had things like patience. I was really good at empathy, or well, in this case more sympathy, you know, because if people were having issues with their tech, you really need someone who's going to be able to be patient and be able to walk through the problem with this person and simultaneously not make them feel bad about the fact that they might not know something that is almost obvious to you. So allowing yourself to find your gifts not only through your profession, but maybe the deeper things that lie in the work that you do on a day-to-day basis. Every single profession there is, I think you can find a way to see more than just the surface level. We really are called to walk in our purpose, seeking out your purpose rather than trying to identify what your purpose is through your talents, through other people, through your profession, or what you have the potential to do. You can really look at your unwavering qualities that God has placed in you. So things like, are you a good listener? Do you find that you have a lot of energy when it comes to acts of service and helping other people? I found that in an effort to figure out my purpose and kind of get everything in line for my life, I kind of looked over a lot of these qualities. And in my younger years, I feel like maybe I even suppressed some of those things because, when you're younger, it's like you want to know what your purpose is so that you can make a plan for yourself. But the truth is that the plan is already there. So it's kind of a naive thing that we do as humans, thinking that we can make some sort of plan for ourselves when God is still doing the work every single day. He's still trying to show us our path, and sometimes we listen, sometimes we don't listen. It's just important to stay connected so that you are open to the ways that God is pulling you. And so eventually you end up on the path that you were supposed to end up on anyway. So I guess also thinking about talents per se, and maybe like unconventional talents, kind of a cute thing that I realized recently. LJ and I found a church near where we live now. And we visited a few churches and attended a few churches before we kind of landed on the one we're at now. I think it was like the second service we went to. The pastor was talking and he mentioned that they got a new coffee machine. He was like, if anyone wants to answer the call to barista ministry or coffee ministry, we're welcoming you. And I thought it was so funny because I had never ever thought of that before. I used to be a barista in high school, and never did I think that I would be able to serve a church in that way. I didn't raise my hand or anything or volunteer, but I was thinking to myself, like, how many things do I do on a daily basis that could help my community, that could help my church, right? Like, I like to cook, I'm crafty, I'm good with kids. There's just like a bunch of things that I could do for the church. And then another time that we went, we had gone so many times that our pastor had a bunch of different series of sermons by that point. And every sermon, the PowerPoints in the back were so good. They were so clean, very pristine, very organized, and great visuals. And LJ and I were talking, we were like, PowerPoint ministry is like seriously on point at this place. And we just thought it was so funny. It kind of added to what I was thinking, like really anything could be of service. And growing up Catholic, we don't really do the PowerPoints, right? We will do the lead person that sings, you got the person on the organ. If you have anything more than that, that's pretty cool. To me growing up, it didn't seem like there were a lot of roles you could fill in the church or like in the community. My parents were catechists, which means they taught Sunday school, but it just seemed so limited. And like there were only events where you could volunteer your time maybe, or volunteer to do some sort of activity. I never really thought that there were a real plenitude of things that I could help with in that way. So I think even going to a different denomination church really helped me open my eyes about all the different ways that my everyday tasks or everyday things that I do are really helpful to other people. So I take that with me as well. I'll tell you what, this purse has not been easy. It's been very interesting. Just don't know. When I get to the end of each, it's just a little hectic. But it looks really good so far. I'm doing a two-toned and then I have to make a strap for it. So I hope some of this really spoke to someone. I don't know if it sounds obvious, but I just feel like there are a lot of things in my faith journey now that are light bulb moments. And I kind of don't blame myself because like we're all kind of brought up differently when it comes to our faith. I mean, some of us none at all. So I don't think it's the worst to talk about really simple things. I mean, there's always someone starting new in their faith walk, you know, and whatever that looks like. My question now is, does anyone else feel like maybe they had no talent or they had no purpose, and then later they kind of understood what it was? We're going to be led to the things that lead us to our path and walk us through our purpose anyway. So it's not like we have to think and like try so hard to figure this out, because it's going to come to us, we're going to realize. But I think we have to shift our focus onto being open to understanding ourselves, rather than trying to put ourselves in some sort of box in the name of purpose, in the name of this is what I'm already good at, so let me try to make something of this. I think that's kind of how I felt about performing for a long time, is that like, I'm already good at this, like this must be the thing that's my purpose. And I think if I did that, then I would have had a one-track mind about it, and I wouldn't have been so open to the things that God had for me anyway. So I just want to know if anyone else was kind of stuck to a certain purpose, right? Something that they thought, you know, this has to be my purpose because I'm good at it. Has anyone kind of experienced that? And what did you come to learn? What did you come to find out? Because I'm really curious what other people have went through, and maybe I can learn something from someone else. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you like these chats. There's going to be more coming about different topics, so I'm kind of excited for that. And if you have any topics that you want me to hit, just let me know. I'm glad to talk about them, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, also, please don't forget to like this video if you like it, and subscribe if you've been a viewer or you're new or anything. You're welcome here, and I'm happy to have you here. So thanks.